So now we have one class, that is a person class, and in a person class we will be having the 5 variables. So the name, age, ID, height and the salary. So the string is a data type of this particular variable, integer is a data type of int, age and ID variable, float is a data type of the height and the salary variable. So these variables have the access specifier as a default. Okay, so these variables cannot be accessed outside the class, that is the default meaning. So these variables can be accessed within a methods of this particular class only, or inside the class only. So there are 4 methods in this particular class. One is a talk, eat, show clerk and the show customer method. Now whenever the talk method, or every method will have the access specifier as a public. It means that when the object of this class is available in a demo function, if the object is available in a main method, then by using that object we can execute these 4 methods. That is the meaning of this public. So these methods are accessible outside the class only, and every method can access these particular 5 variables. Okay, so when this method is executed, in talk will be printed. When eat method is executed, in eat will be printed on a console. When show clerk is executed, it will print the name of that particular object and salary related to that particular object. When show customer method is executed, it will show the name of that particular object and ID of that particular object. Okay, so we have created, there is a class demo, and in class demo we have the main method. One object is created of the class person P1, and by using the dot operator we are assigning the few values to that particular object. So using the equal to operator we are assigning the values to that particular object. So when p1.talk is executed, it will print that particular message. When p1.eat is executed, it will print that message. When p1.show clerk is executed, it will print the name and salary of that employee. When this is executed, it will print the name and ID of that particular employee. So we are accessing the private variables of the class by using the methods of the class, but we are accessing only the few of the private variables. Here the view of accessing that private variables of the class will get changed, and this particular phenomenon is called as a abstraction in case of the Java. Same discussion. So there is a class person and the class demo is there. Suppose the class person will have the variables or the properties. Say string is a name, because the name will be the Raju, Neha, like that. So it is a string. Then integer age and ID. So age and ID, these two are the variables whose data type is integer. Then the float, height and weight, height and salary. So these are the properties for this particular class. Okay, if the class is a person, then the name, age, ID, height and salary, these are the properties of that particular class. So class may contain the methods also. So say that the method is the void talk, okay, and s out in talk method. Okay, so it is the simple one, but we have to specify the object, we have to specify the access specifier. Now the access specifier is a default access specifier. So if you write the public here, now it becomes the public. So object of this class, if it is there inside the main method, then we can access this particular talk method. Then say we declare one more method, that is public void eat. So eat is a method, and s out. So in eat method, again this is a second method. Okay, yes, so it will have one more method, say public void. So show clerk is a method, say show clerk, and one more method is a public void show to customer, right? So whenever we are having some person class, okay, so these variables name, age, id, height and salary, these are the private variables of this particular class. These variables cannot be accessed outside of this particular person class. Okay, now these two are the public methods, they can be executed if the object is available. Again, these two are the public methods, they can be executed if the object is available in a main method. But this method will show the data to the clerk, and this method is showing the data to the customer only. Now to the clerk, because clerk is, say in organization, clerk is inside the organization and customer is outside the organization. So to the clerk we want to show the name and salary of that particular employee. So I can show that particular. Okay, so s out. So name is, so inside the class we can access the variables directly. So the name is available to the clerk, and at the same time we can provide the salary to the clerk also, information related with the salary. Okay, and to the customer I can show the name of the customer and also I can show the ID of that particular customer, right? So the class is there person. These are the 5 variables or the properties of that particular class. This is a general method talk. Whenever this method is executed, in talk will be displayed. When the eat method is executed, in eat will be displayed on a terminal window, right? When the show clerk method is executed, it will show only the name of that particular person and salary of that particular person. So remaining data will be hidden from that particular method. If this method is executed, it will show the name and ID. So it means that we are changing our view. Only the particular variables are displayed and particular variables are not displayed. They are hidden. So this is called as the abstraction. Abstraction means what? Showing or displaying only the certain variables of the class which are private to the class, and some of the variables are hidden. So this particular process, here the variables ID, height, these are hidden. Here the variable salary is hidden. Okay, then ID, age, these variables are hidden. Okay, so this view is called as a abstraction. Okay, now in short, the class person is created, some variables are there and some public methods are there. So in order to execute these particular public methods, so these are the public methods in order to access the private variables of the class. So in order to execute these public methods, we need the object of this particular class. Now object of this person class is created within the demo demo class. Okay, now in demo class we have the main method, and in order to create the object of the person class, I need the name of the class followed by the name of the object, and then the new keyword, and then the constructor of that particular class. Okay, so the one object is created p1, and say there is a second object p2. It is a new person. So the two objects are created of the class person, right? Now we will assign some the values of the name, age, id, height and salary to the first object. Okay, so p1 dot name equal to say Raju, p1 dot age equal to say 12, so 12 is very less 42, p1 dot id equal to say 11229, then p1 dot height equal to 5.3, and then the p1 dot salary equal to say 34123, 34,000 and something dot 23. So it is in float, and it is also in float. So height and salary, these are available in a float nature. Okay, so by using the dot operator we can set the properties of that particular object. Suppose for the instance we don't have this particular object. Now the properties are set. Now whenever I am executing the talk method, it will execute. If I execute the eat method, it will execute that particular method. Okay, so let us execute that. Execute this code. So java c demo.java. So in talk in it. Okay, so this is because of this 42 number line and 43 number line. It means that we are executing the methods which are present in a class person. Okay, and if these methods are accessing some of few of the private variables, then this particular case, if the method of a class is accessing some of the private variables and some of the private variables are not accessing, then this particular phenomenon is called as the abstraction. If I call the show clerk method and the show customer method, then I will get the result in accordance with that particular. Say p1 dot show clerk. Okay, so we are showing the salary related information to the clerk. Okay, when show clerk method is executed, the name of that particular person, means this object, is printed, and the salary of that particular object, okay, person, will be printed. If I call the p1 dot show customer method, then it will show the id and name of that particular method, name of that particular person. Right, so name is printed and id is printed.